Hi friends, good morning. Today I'm going to cover few Azure updates. Few updates are latest and few updates are few older, but they are worth to know. Mostly you may not have come across. That is the reason I have placed it here. Before I get into my today's topic, I would like to show you little about my channel here. If you are not aware about my channel, you can check here about your migrations and mainly the real-time scenarios and real-time examples I cover, and you can also see some basic examples of how you can create the various resources and stuff. So hopefully this will be helpful for your interview processes and as well as the learning process. Let us get into our today's topic. So the first one is like Azure Lighthouse. Azure Lighthouse is a very latest update from the Microsoft, and it is very important. It is going to be very important. Probably your accounts might not have upgraded. If you have not, I think eventually that will be there with the Lighthouse. Earlier, if you remember, you have number of subscriptions. If you have number of tenants, it is very hard to manage. You have to switch every time between the tenant subscriptions, especially governing those type of accounts was big hurdle. Every time they have to switch, and we can't see everything in one place. As the name says, it's a lighthouse for the cloud. Usually the regular lighthouses helps us to mark the dangerous coastlines, hazardous shoals, right? So similarly here also you can monitor what's going on across the accounts, across the subscriptions. Azure Lighthouse enables a cross and multi-tenant management, allowing for higher automation, scalability, and enhanced governance across resources and tenants. In one picture, it is showing everything. Azure Dedicated Resource Management. You have ARMs, you have Azure Identity, and you have a control panel where you can monitor and manage the cross-tenant experience into one panel. It's easy to even switch between the subscriptions, and at the same time options for the new scenarios. So these are the few advantages. Manage your service providers across all the clouds, assign precise, especially if you're working with multiple customers and you may have multiple subscriptions, especially the support guys or Azure admins might be having multiple accounts under them. It's very hard and painful process to manage all. In fact, under my account I have almost 7 subscriptions. It is always hard to switch between the directories, between the tenants, between the subscriptions, right? So this will really helpful. Moving on to the next feature, Azure Purview. Probably you might have already come across. In case if you did not come across, this is one of the beautiful feature Azure brought it. In case if you have multiple databases, assume that you are using SQL Server, you are using maybe some kind of SAP database or MySQL, whatnot, DocumentDB, Cassandra, Cosmos, right? There are plenty of databases in the huge enterprise systems you must be using, and few databases could be from the AWS. Maybe you have AWS S3 or DocumentDB or DynamoDB kind of things. So how do you manage all those databases in one place? Here is the solution. Azure Purview will help you to manage all those databases from single location. It's maybe you can call it as a control panel kind of thing, where you can view all your databases. And here are the few advantages. Automate and manage metadata from hybrid houses, classify data using built-in and custom classifiers and Microsoft information protection sensitivity labels, label sensitive data consistently across SQL Server, Azure, Microsoft 365 and Power BI. Azure Purview is a unified data governance service that helps you manage and govern your on-premises data, also multi-cloud and software as a service data. Whether it is on the S3 or somewhere else, it will help you to govern all those data from a single place. So that's about the Azure Purview, but for more details you can just go ahead and explore from the Azure portal. But moving on to the next feature, IoT Hub on Azure Stack Hub. This image will give you the clear picture what is Azure Stack Hub. The first one is like everything is on your public cloud. on the Azure data center. Whatever the data, whatever the features, what you're utilizing from the cloud is all on the data center. The next one is the data is moved to the edge centers. So, but still your development platforms, everything is on the cloud. Maybe your IoT or other important features are on the cloud, but you are separating data to the edge. Now you are moving little more stuff from data and the other areas of the maybe like IoT and other areas to the edge. So only the app dev platform is on the cloud. If you observe the last one, even your app dev platform is not on the cloud. Everything is moved to the on-premises. You see there Azure Stack Hub, even dev platform is available here. So you may question me why I should move everything to the on-premises. We came to the cloud already, but again we are moving back to the on-premises. What is the necessity of that? Imagine maybe you are in the place where you don't have network at all, or you have very poor network and you can't communicate back to the cloud. In that kind of situations, this type of environment will really help you to store and manage everything on the on-premises. Okay, we can give you more examples here. So you can see Azure IoT Edge versus Azure Stack Edge versus Azure Stack Hub and IoT Hub. So Azure IoT Edge is middleware that deploys container-based cloud applications to run directly on the IoT devices and gateways, whereas Stack Edge is an on-premises first-party Microsoft Cloud managed. It appears as a cloud, even though you are on the Stack Edge, it all appears as a cloud, but it is running as a on-premises. Like maybe your kind of standalone application which doesn't have any outside network connectivity, but still it opens on the browser and you can view all the features what it is available. Definitely there are some limitations, but within the limitations you will be able to view everything, but it is all on premises. You are not transferring any data back to the cloud, or maybe occasionally you may need to transfer the data. You can see few use cases also, like when it is IoT Edge, we are using in many places, right? Individual oil wells, connected warehouses, manufacturing, where you have poor network, like you manage in the edge location and you will maybe later transfer the data back to the cloud. But when you see the Azure Stack Hub and IoT Hub cruise ship, so in the cruises, especially when they are traveling on the oceans, right, you may not find any network. Then what is that? Like smart stadiums, deep sea oil rigs, hospitals, region retail. So in this type of cases, you will use a Stack Hub and IoT Hub. Similarly, in the Stack Edge also can be used in the various locations, like retail, public safety and all. So, but anyway, this is the important one, like what I was speaking, and which is a new feature, Azure Stack Hub and IoT Hub. Moving on to the next one, Azure Defender for SQL. So earlier Defender was not available for SQL. Now Defender is coming for many more features, not just for the SQL in the recent times. It's work to enable for various features wherever it is applicable, so that you can see the regular recommendations for your database. In fact, I every day receive a few security alerts, vulnerabilities, so that I can fix it, and I can secure my database more efficiently. Similarly, vulnerability assessment for on-premise and multi-cloud machines is also a new feature. So you now for the on-premises machines, we can enable the vulnerability assessment, so that it will give you where are the vulnerabilities. It could be your VMs, on-premises VMs or on-premises servers, and virtual machines as well. Okay, that's it for today, but I'll come back with more videos and more real-time scenarios. Thanks for watching my videos.